What's up, YouTube? I have sitting on the kitchen table today my pair of MTX ThunderPro2 loudspeakers. The model is the TP1200. It has a 12-inch woofer and a compression horn driver. Go around to the back side real quick. Has the choice of binding posts or a 1/4-inch TRS plug. Has some handles on the side and corner reinforcements. The speaker is classified somewhere in between a home and a pro speaker. I've seen it advertised in places as a party speaker, and the manual states that it's used for low to mid-level sound reinforcement. So I'm gonna try and keep this video from getting too long-winded, but for my curiosity as well as anyone else's out there, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the grill off and see how beefy the drivers are inside these cabinets. And also, as a bonus, I'm gonna take a quick look at this Technics speaker I've been messing around with lately. Okay, here's the speaker with the grill removed, and my first impression is I'm very impressed just from the front view of this speaker. The surround is very, very beefy, has a big rolled surround on it, very beefy, has an inverted style dust cap, dual arrow ports, and it's hard to convey on camera, but this thing is quite a bit nicer than I was expecting. This entire cabinet, they were $99 a piece shipped from a gray market eBay seller. And here's the manual. We'll take a quick look at that. You can a little bit of glare, but you can pause this on the computer if you want to read. And here's the specifications. It's for all three speakers in this line, but here's the ThunderPro1200. And really, they sound pretty good too, sound quality wise. I actually use these as my bedroom speakers and listen to music through them. But I'm going to go ahead and take the woofer and the horn driver out, and we'll have a look at those. Alright, here's the woofer pulled out of the box, and I don't want to disconnect those terminals because they're on there pretty tight, and I just really don't want to muscle around with this thing too much. But it has a pretty nice sized magnet, pretty generic on the back side, but it's a 12-inch woofer, so that's a pretty hefty magnet. Alright, as you can see, here's the compression driver removed from the box. It's not a massive driver, but it's definitely pretty solid, especially at the overall price point of these speakers. And another thing, it does have a proper two-way crossover with a cap and coil for the woofer and a cap and resistor for the tweeter, and also has a little thing down there is a resettable poly switch. So not a bad cabinet at all. Even at full retail, this thing's only $159 shipped in the United States. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back together, and we'll do some quick side-by-side, well, not side-by-side, but we'll test it with a Onkyo receiver and then test it with the Kenwood receiver, and then we'll take a quick look at this thing. Just a couple more things I wanted to go through, pro and con, before we begin the listening test. One thing I almost forgot when I was going over the speakers, they do have a little pole mount option on the bottom, which is kind of nice since they're smaller cabinets. One con I do have I think the side handles could be a little bit beefier. It's nice to have the loop handles in case I was to want to strap it to another cabinet with some ratchet straps or something like that. But once again, the price point on these things is outstanding, so they get the job done, and these cabinets aren't super heavy. They're about, I think, 39 pounds in the manual over here. And another thing, the frequency response, it doesn't say in the manual whether it's the -3 dB or -10 dB for the low frequency side, but these speakers do really kick. You don't need a subwoofer with these speakers, even when listening to pretty bass heavy music, unless you're into the really infrasonic type music, chopped and screwed, something like that. You can get by just fine without a subwoofer with these. So enough chit chat.